Hey guys, what's up? How are you? RiseFrags34. Thank you so much for joining me for this very, very special review. This fragrance is just so close to my heart. Christi, Michelle, I can't thank you enough. You really made a dream come true of mine, and this is just awesome. So, quick story. Of course, this is Destrier by House of Matriarch, and I just wanted to kind of give the story behind this. I was sitting watching television, and of course we were watching the Game of Thrones, me and my wife, and I kind of looked over and just knew how special she was to me, and just watched her just watching the show. She just loves this show so much. It's a show where you can get very addicted to it. It's just a very great show, and I was never really into it, but I never really took the time to watch it. And what was pretty cool is we actually watched every single episode last year. Until the last one, of course, and I really got into it, and I really fell in love with it. And I kind of was thinking of fragrances as I was watching a little bit, like it'd be kind of cool to have kind of like you're standing up front of a castle, and there's the castle. There's two big horses with these big strong men on both the horses. They have their armor on. There's a drawbridge basically that would drop, and there's some water underneath it. And you're just kind of looking at this beautiful castle with, like hay fields kind of in the back, those two big, war horses, the guy standing, sitting there with their leather, of course, on, the big leather saddles, and I just kind of wanted to, think of a fragrance like, wow, how could I make something smell like that scene, right there? And, I started talking to Christi. I can't really remember how it started, but we were just talking and, back and forth about just other fragrances, and I really love her, the brand of House of Matriarch. I mean, they're unique. They're just very, very classy. They're natural perfumes. I believe most of her stuff is all natural. And I just started talking to her. I'm like, one of my dreams is kind of just to have a perfumer make me a fragrance. And we just started talking, and she's like, well, shoot me some ideas. And I started giving her some ideas about, I wanted kind of to be woody with the drawbridge. I wanted maybe like a little bit of water, like underneath. So maybe a little bit of the, like not really aqua, but kind of just a little bit of water, like the hay, the fields, like the nice tall grassy fields. And then of course the leather, the war horse thing kind of going on. And she just made this dream come true of mine. It's just, she nailed it, and it's really beautiful. But getting on with a little bit more of the story is, I just started kind of shooting these things off, and she's like, all right, well, cool, I'll go ahead and, try and put something together. And she just started, sending me these samples of things, and kind of gave me a bunch of samples of all of the ingredients that are kind of going into it. Like, one was drawbridge, which was kind of cool because I kind of made that name, and she kind of used that name for one of her notes, which is really cool. She got into the horse hair, things like that. I know there's horse hair in this, which is pretty awesome. So there's really some great things. Now, my wife is very, very important to me. She's my best friend. She's just special. She's my other half, and I love her to death. So she loved horses, well, she still loves horses, and which is pretty cool because she competed with horses for almost 15 years growing up. So she did a lot of jumping and, cross country, just a lot with horses. And what's pretty cool now is my brother, he's kind of like another best friend of mine. We're very close. We talk every day, and he's unfortunately in Wisconsin. I'm here in Maryland, so I can't see him as much, but he actually has a saddle shop, and he works with a lot of leather. He's been doing that for years now, and finally just got his saddle shop, so congratulations to him on that. And he repairs saddles, makes saddles. So really, I'm kind of surrounded. And I also, I worked on a farm for a few years when I was younger, and they had horses. So it not only brings back memories for when I was a child, it brings great memories with my wife, my brother. So there's just a lot of things going on, personally in my life with that. And she just kind of really, really hit this on the head. That first initial spray, there's a little bit of like an incensey kind of. Maybe it's a little bit smoky and woody, which is really nice. That comes off that way. So I can kind of see, just like kind of like the metal armor. You kind of got, I don't know. It's just crazy with what I'm seeing when I smell this fragrance. Then there's a little bit of like this sweet hay kind of that comes in there. There's a little bit. You can actually horse has kind of a crazy smell to it. It just it's kind of horse smell. And what's nice is I'm not talking about oud. I'm not talking about horse crap. I'm talking about the horse, like itself. Like after you get done brushing a horse, kind of has that dusty to it because they're, you know, on the fields or whatever. And you just kind of really smell, and they just smell just very warm, and they're very, it's almost like just like a cozy kind of, they're just, you know, horses are great, you know, they're just awesome creatures, you know, so it's just, and this really gives you, when you can sit and smell it, I have it on my hand, you do smell some of that horse in there. But guys, if you guys like leather fragrances, this one just literally nailed it on the leather fragrance. I mean, Tuscan leather, step aside, because this one is just awesome. I mean, guys, this is, and again, I love Tuscan leather, don't get me wrong, so I'm not saying it's about that and it smells like that. This, guys, is amazing. You know, I do a few sprays, and you know how some catches on your shirt and all that. If you, like, after a half an hour, if you actually smell your shirt, it literally smells like just a beautiful, fresh piece of clean, just leather. I mean, it's just, I can't describe this. I mean, this is just leather through and through, which is so great. You do get some of those other notes. There's some sweetness in there that I really like. She used, you know, a few, let me actually go over the notes what she used, but the horse you can actually smell in this, which is so great because it's just a unique smell, but it's a warm, comforting scent, which I really, really love. But getting on with the notes of this one, it's hay. Of course, you have that tall hay, grassy. You kind of get that sweet hay smell, kind of dry a little bit. It's really nice. There's clover in here. There's sweet grass. Maybe that's that grassy sweetness that I smell in there. And then you get some smoky woods, valerian. And I think valerian is, you know, with the Game of Thrones, it's the metal, you know, it's for the swords they make and things like that. And you do kind of get that little bit of it's kind of like a sharp, maybe metally vibe in there. I don't know. It's just, guys, if you really smell this fragrance and you're thinking about Game of Thrones or thinking about, you know, horse farms or anything like that, and leather, guys, this just nails it. So, and then also you have leather, of course, stables, and bravery, and that's exactly kind of what I get if you're actually in like a horse stable and you got that really, you know, a lot of times they put molasses in their feed and the hay and stuff, and kind of gives it that nice sweet smell to it. And then you have the horses around, and again, I'm not talking about the horse you know, stuff on the ground, you know, I'm not talking about the horse crap on the ground. I'm talking about just a nice clean stable with a beautiful horse in there that's all, you know, all well groomed and everything. You just get that really nice horse. But I'm telling you guys, if you take just a beautiful fresh leather blanket and you know, smother yourself in it, that is what you get in this dry down, guys, and it is just unbelievable. I wore it so many times, and guys, it's just the best. Just this leather is just so natural, and it's literally like you're putting a brand new fresh leather coat on. You know, and it comes off just perfect. Again, it's not going to shout at you. It lasts a good while. It lasts almost 8 hours on my skin. Again, I do testing where you spray it on your hand, you know, on the top part of your hand, just do a couple sprays and just go to bed with that. And you know, wake up and see how good it smells. If you wake up and there's nothing there, you know, you're probably getting maybe, you know, 6 to 7 hours. I don't even know if it's a true test or not, but that's what I do. This one, you know, Destrier, I can smell it the next morning on my hand. So I know the performance is really good, but it's not gonna shout. You know, if someone gets really close, it's very sentimental. You know, you get kind of close to your neck and stuff, you're gonna smell it. Don't get me wrong, it projects for a good hour when you spray it, and you're getting all those great notes in there. But this one just kind of, you know, gets close to the skin. It's comforting. It just, guys, this is just literally just taking a beautiful, you know, leather scarf and just wrapping it around your neck and just smelling that aroma. And like I said, if you catch a little bit, you know, if you're spraying and you spray a little bit on your shirt right here and you just smell it after about a half an hour, it is literally like a piece of leather that you're smelling. And I really hope you guys have the chance to smell this, and also, you know, let me know your thoughts on that. But for the special part of my heart, you know, this really, you know, I really want to think about my wife when I smell this, and you know, just, she loves horses so much. She loves the Game of Thrones, and those two things together with this really made just a special fragrance for me. You know, God forbid anything ever happens, I'll have this, you know, to smell, and you know, vice versa too. But it's just a great, you know, unfortunately she's not into fragrances, you know, but she loves the smell of this because it just brings back memories as well for her. But she, you know, believe it or not, doesn't wear fragrances, so it's kind of my little thing that I have, and it's kind of my, you know, my little hobby and my little passion. So, but guys, this is just a very special fragrance to me, and thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me ramble, and it's just very special to me. And Christi, I can't thank you enough. Like I said, I love, most of your fragrances. I mean, they all do wonders on my skin. They're great, and this is just a really, really cool thing that you've done for me. And you literally took it, and we were so creative with some of the words we were using with the drawbridge and the Valerian. It just really worked out great. Like you said, sometimes it takes years to make a fragrance. We were just kind of like nailing it, with notes and creativity, with things were just coming to us, and it really, really worked out well. And you're the master behind this, so thank you so much for making this happen and making this work. But guys, if you guys are looking for a really great leather fragrance, this is awesome. And again, she has a lot of discount. These are almost $330 for a 50 ml. It's pricey. She uses great ingredients, natural. It's very, very, just very great quality. But again, she has a lot of great specials as well. Like sometimes she'll shoot out emails where, 15, 20% off or half price. I've gotten a lot of her fragrances for a great, great price, and they're so worth it, guys. So please look into this one. And again, I'm just so proud. I'm proud that we came up with this fragrance, we created it, and again, she was basically the full, she's the perfumer, so she did it. But with some of the words we used and creativity, it was just awesome. So also with the bottle, which is really cool. I did get one. I think she only made 24 of them with the actual, with the horseshoe there, but just so cool. Hopefully you guys can see that. And it just, like I said, just so special to me to have this in my fragrance, and just really, it kind of brings me to some great things when I think about this fragrance now. Just for my wife, of course. Just my best friend, of course, and even my brother. With the whole leather thing going on. So it's just a really cool fragrance. It's comforting to me, and it's just awesome. So thank you guys so much for this review. Hopefully I did okay, with describing. I'm just so excited. I was kind of nervous to do this one, and it took me a while, but guys, in about an hour and a half, Game of Thrones will be on. So tonight's the night. Only 7 episodes. I think it's the last series. So guys, enjoy it if you guys are Game of Thrones fans. If not, no worries. But thank you guys so much again for everything, for all the support and subscribing, and hopefully you'll take the time just to hear me out on this one. Like I said, this one's just a very special fragrance to me. So again, thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you soon.